Hello class, good day. So today we'll be discussing the compression members, to be specific, a member which consists of slender element. Okay, so we have here a letter T. Okay, the letter T. Then, of course, before we solve the compression capacity of this section, we have to check first is its width to thickness ratio. Anyway, so we have here a WT 265 by 75. So looking at the AISC standards for shapes, for section properties, so these are the following properties na makikita natin doon sa database. So we get all the necessary properties, including the width thickness ratio. But actually, without looking these values from the AISC standards, you can solve this because this is just B over 2 times the thickness of flange. And this is the overall depth times its thickness, or the thickness of what? Thickness of web, no? Okay, so um, now before we compute the compressive strength, let's compute first the width to thickness ratio of each element. So anyway, we have two types of element here. So we have the flange and then the web. For the flange, we are going to use the case number 3 of this table, because from this table we can project a letter T from this letter I, or W section. So we are going to compute the B over T of the flange. As you can see here, that is half of the flange over the T, but the standard already provide the, I don't know, the B over 2 times the thickness of the flange, or B over, or base flange. Okay, this should be base flange over 2 times the thickness of flange. You can check that on the standards. So meron naman yan dito. Okay, so this one, no, BF over 2TF, no. So, okay, so this is the value, no, from, so we have, then we are going to compare that to the NSCP provision, which is 0.56. Now, if this B over T exceeds with the lambda R, meaning the section is slender. However, if this B over T does not exceed with the 0.56 E over Fy, so therefore, it is non-slender. Okay? So, okay, so we're going to compute this BF over 2TF to this limiting width to thickness ratio. So anyway, for the web, we also have to get web is also unstiffened element. So that is under case number 8 of the NSCP. Ayan, no? So uniform compression. So this 7 kasi is for flexure, but we're analyzing a compression members. So we need the this case number 8. So for case number 8, we need to get the B over T ratio. In this case, that is D over the thickness of web, P, from the AISC standard. So that is capital D over T for AISC version 15 database. So you can look at this column, okay, so which is the D over P. So anyway, if you don't want to look at the d over t of this column, so you may just solve the d over thickness of the web. It will just yield to the same result. So let's check if same na rin ba yung result nun. Although may konting discrepancy lang siya, no? Okay, so let's check. So we have the overall depth 21.4. Sorry, the D 272 over thickness of the web 12.7 is approximately equal to 21.4, but the standards just use 21.4, no? Um, for case number 8, so again, we are going to use the case, this limiting to width ratio, okay, this one, 0.75. So the d over t will be compared to 0.75 square root of e over f1. Okay, solving this value, so this is, we already have this value, no? 7.68. And then 0.56 square root of e over fy, so let's solve that. So anyway, A992, that is 345 megapascal, no? Still na A992. So let's compute 200,000 megapascal over 345. Okay, so that is equal to 13.483. Okay, so for this, so as we can see, this value B over T is less than the limiting ratio, meaning this is non-slender. Again, if the B over T exceed with the limiting ratio, so therefore that is a slender element. Okay, now, how about this one? So we have the D over T, 21.4. Let's compare this to 0.75. So that is 18. Okay, so meaning this 21.4 is already greater than the ratio for the web. Now we're talking about here for the web, which is also unstiffened element. Okay, both flange and web are stiffened element. Okay, so again, unstiffened element, those elements which are not supported both ends. When you say stiffened, both ends are supported, such as the web of the W section. Now, for this case, the B over T is greater than the limiting ratio, meaning this is already a slender element. So, identifying if the elements are slender or non-slender could help us to determine which formula should be used in solving for the nominal axial strength. Because as per NSCP, for without slender elements, we can use section 5, no? 505.3 without slender elements. However, with slender elements, you have to use this provision of the NSEP. So, ito po, no, sorry, that's without slender elements. This one, no, with slender elements. So, since we have unstiffened slender elements, so we're going to use this provision 505.7. Okay. Now, in solving for the PN, we need the FCR, then area of the gross. Already have the area of the gross. Okay, then FCR, how do we solve the FCR? So FCR, it's either from this equation or this equation. It depends on the critical slenderness ratio compared with 4.71 square root of E over Fy. Or you may compare this to if Fe is greater than 0.44 Q Fy. We can actually solve the Fe, elastic buckling stress. So for elastic buckling stress, we're going to use 505.34 and 505.4, okay, for doubly symmetric members. Okay, now equation 505.3-4 and dash 5 for singly symmetric members. So let's look at the 505.3-4, no, for singly symmetric members. So how do we calculate the FE? Okay, so let's go to 505.3-4. Okay, 505.3-4 for singly symmetric members. Now, in calculating the okay, 505.3-4. Okay, so for singly symmetric, you may use this FE in or the elastic critical buckling stress. So we are going to solve the FE. Okay, so after solving that FE, so we now have, okay, we can now solve, okay, after solving the FE, okay, if you want to compare this, no? Okay, but you don't need pa i-compare or no need to compute muna yung FE if you'll be comparing these two. So, pero you need the Q pala. No? And aside from FE, you also need the Q. So, what is Q? Q is equal to QS times QA. Okay, so what is QS? QS is for unstiffened element. Okay, unstiffened. And then QA is for stiffened element. Take note, class, a letter T don't consist of stiffened element. So, meaning, we can say that if you don't have to solve for the QA is just equal to 1. Okay, you can set that QA is just equal to 1. And therefore, you just need to solve for the QS. Okay, so Q is just equal to QS if you are not going to solve for the QA. Okay, since again, we have here a slender and stiffened element. So looking at again from our given, so we found out that the unstiffened element, which is the web, is slender. Okay, so you have to look at this section 505 point. We have to solve for the QS 505.7.1. Okay. And then identify which among this one, two, three, okay, will be used. Okay, let's read kung saan sila applicable. For number one, these are for flanges, angles, and plates projecting from rolled columns. Okay, for number two, flanges, angles, and plates projecting from built-up columns. Since letter T is from standards, so we don't have to use this one and two. Okay? And actually, meron for specific talaga dito, no? For letter T's. These are for single angles. Ito, for the stem of T's. Since we found out that the slender is the stem of T's. Now, if the slender element is the flange, you have to use this. Kasi for flanges. Projecting from hole. This is from case number 3, no? So yung case number 3 kasi is letter I, projecting from roll, and you have to solve the slenderness or the compactness of the flange. Okay, if you found out that your flange is slender, you're going to use number 1. Okay, but for stem of piece, since we found out that the stem of or the web of this D is slender, so we'll be using this number 4 in solving for the QS. Now, if D over T is 0 less than 0.75, QS is 1. Okay, actually, D over T is greater than. So, pag less than in class, you don't have to solve for the QS. That is already equal to 1.0. Okay, since this is greater than, so obviously, A is not applicable, but B or C might be applicable kasi we have to compare D over T with 1.03 square root of E over Fy. So we have to check if this is greater than with this value, if the D over T is greater than this value or less than or greater than, so that we can identify which formula will be used, dash 14 or dash 15. Okay, so for stem piece, or we have to compare that to the 0.75, we already get that value. And we compare that, we already, that is less than. And then we compare that to 1.03 square root of E over Fy. Okay, and that is equal to 24.799. So we can see here, the D over D, which is 21.4, is greater than 0.75 square root of E over Fy, but less than this value. So therefore, we have to use letter B of number 4. So this formula will be used to compute the value of QS 5057 point a dash 40. The formula is 1.908, 1.22 D over T, this one, 21.4. Then the square root of Fy, sorry, that should be Fy over E. Okay? Sorry, class, it should be instead. It should not be equal to E. It should not be E over Fy. It should be Fy over E. Okay. It should be Fy over E. So okay, again, following the code, no, it should be Fy over E. So, but when comparing, you should need E over Fy. But for solving QS, it should be Fy over E. So, substituting, so that will be equal to, okay, so it should be Fy over 345 over 200,000. Okay, so that is equal to 0.824. Okay, 0.824. Um, Next, we already have the value of QS, and that will be your Q. So again, we need the Q to compare. That will be used later on in solving the PN. So from this code, so we'll have, we need the Q. So as you can see here, Q is always multiplied to Fy. So QFY, QFY. So we really need that value of Q. And that Q must be always less than 1.0. Okay, so now we solve the FE. Again, we need to use this 505.3-4. Okay, so for single symmetric and double symmetric, this is also being used now. So pi squared E over KLR, and then squared. Okay, so we have the KL over R slenderness ratio. So you have to get the critical slenderness ratio between, or you have to select critical slenderness ratio between the X and Y axis. So, so how can we identify that? If the over on all length is unsupported both axes, so meaning just look at the Rx and Ry. So whichever smaller, meaning that is the weaker axis. So as you can see here, Ry is only 73.4. Thus, that is a weak axis. Okay, so we are going to use that Ry for the critical slenderness ratio because y-axis is very weak compared to the x-axis. So substituting, so we have 295.406 megapascal. Okay, so we can now solve the compressive strength of the column. So that is it depends. Before solving the PN, we need the FCR first. Again, FCR depends on the value of KL over R compared to 4.71. Or you can compare this. It's up to you, no? So you may use this for comparison or this one for comparison. Now for this problem, so I will be comparing, instead of using this 4.71, I'll be comparing 0.44 QFY. I'll be using 0.44 QFY. Now, again, the Q here is, your Q is, which is 0.84 because we don't have to get the QA because we don't have any stiffened element here. So QS is just equal to Q. Okay. So solving this value, so we have 125.031. Comparing that to your FE. FE is 295, meaning FE is greater. So it should be greater than, no? FE is greater than 305. So yeah, if we have an FE greater than 0.44 QFI, thus we're going to use this formula 505.7-2. Okay, so we'll be using the 5057-2. So this is your formula. Okay, so so let's substitute Q 0.824. So 0.658 QFY, FE is 295, and then you have the FY. Okay, so then the FCR will be 189.981 megapascal. So with that, you can now solve the PN. That is just FCR area ng gross. So 189.981 times 9610, the area of gross. So we have the nominal strength of the column. So nominal pa lang yung class for the LRFT. This is the nominal capacity for flexural limit state. Okay, where in fact we have two limit state for single symmetric, the torsional and the flexural. So, but for this, we're just considering the flexural. Now we are now going to solve the LRFD and the ASD for the flexural capacity. No? For the LRFD, so we just need to multiply the PN by 0.9. So your answer is 1643. And then for ASD, you divide this nominal by 1.67. That's it, no? For for an element or for a slender element with compressive member with an slender and stiffened element. Okay? So thank you guys for listening.